And I'm Lana Zach. We have a lot of breaking news today. The top of the list, the rescue efforts for the Titan, a submersible exploring the Titanic, is now over. The U.S. Coast Guard says the debris they found is consistent with a catastrophic implosion.
The vessel that was carrying 5 people disappeared on Sunday during a dive to the site of the Titanic wreckage. Officials say the initial fragments found include a landing frame and a rear cover from the submersible. Other than that, they talk about the front of the hull, the front cover of the hull, and a couple of other pieces. But of course, the Coast Guard officials who we heard from confirmed that, in fact, this is consistent with, as Lana said, a catastrophic implosion, which was among the leading concerns. I mean, for days everybody had been hoping that perhaps the vessel had floated up to the surface and was lost somewhere, that perhaps still they had access to oxygen and had some oxygen left. But from the press conference that we heard just a few minutes ago from the U.S. Coast Guard, what they explained is that because they took several devices to detect sound and using sonar and other technology, that those came in, or those have been in place for the last 72 hours, and that no explosion or implosion or anything of that nature had been detected, and hence they conclude that this implosion would have happened before that, so that before the search and rescue efforts got to that point.
Exactly. I want to show our viewers the 5 souls that had been on board of the Titan. We are learning a little bit more about those 5 individuals. The youngest among them was Sulaiman Dawood, just years old. He was accompanying his father, a Pakistani businessman, Shahzada Dawood. Also, in addition, was the chairman of Action Aviation. You see him on your left there, Hamish Harding. He was the chairman of that company that sells aircraft to Fortune 100 companies. He was looking at this as part of an adventure. The Titanic's greatest explorer, that was the nickname for Paul-Henri Nargeolet, who was a Titanic expert. He had led previously 6 expeditions to the Titanic's wreckage site, and was involved with the company known as OceanGate. Finally, Stockton Rush, the CEO of OceanGate, that was the company that was running the expedition. He was the pilot of the Titan expedition there. All 5 are now presumed dead. Condolences went out to the family from the Coast Guard, the Rear Admiral, and also from all of us who have been watching this and hoping for the best, particularly as that timeline for a successful rescue, just based off of oxygen, was coming to an end today. But today we do know that it was consistent with a catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber and implosion of the Titan.
And what a recovery of the bodies could, or whether or not is possible, is something that the Coast Guard didn't give much detail about, but they did say that the pieces that were recovered in this wreckage will be analyzed, of course, to find answers. There had been questions about OceanGate and about whether the prototypes had been tested enough. That will continue as part of the conversation, and especially as we learn more about exactly what went wrong. But we did learn several new details from that press conference, that the debris field was found 2 miles below the surface. You'll recall the Titanic wreck site, 12,500 feet deep. That they found the nose cone, that they found the front end of the pressure hull, the which
rear.
Is where they were. Just not to use this technical information, but this was a vessel that was, as Roxana Saberi explained, the size of a van, if you will.
Of a large van, yes.
And the hull is where they would be. They said that they found the pieces that were recovered just around 1,600 feet away from the bow of the Titanic, which is what this expedition was there to see, the wreckage of the Titanic. We also learned from David Pogue, our colleague, that the estimated, or the approximate cost of this mission was $250,000 per
seat.
passenger per seat. An extremely costly mission to the bottom of the ocean to witness a historic event, or what's left of it, in the wreckage of the Titanic as it continues to degrade through the years.